All right, people. So part two. Before I get started on part two, let's just scroll back for a second. I didn't tell you one thing. If you notice on your copy, both of these say latitude. So what important date line is located at 0 degrees latitude, and latitude should say longitude. So you're not going to lose any credit for numbers 2 and 3, but just know that. You need to recognize longitude. The equator, which is a line of latitude, is measured by where it's at on the line of longitude, okay? All right, so let me scroll back down, mapping Georgia. So there's a link in case you need that assistance. But we don't need that. Let's go ahead and get started. The labels in the map, you need to label da-da-da-da. You get that, right? Great. My video time is super limited, so let's get started. You're labeling each of these states as well as where the Southeast region is. You should have no problems doing this, okay? And if you don't know for sure, use a map. I'm not actually going to double click. I'm not actually going to organize any of these. If you do not understand how to locate these, simply click on the map and you will see Georgia and the states that border Georgia. Now, what region, if you want to put the Southeast in this box, if you just want to put it in proximity to where it's supposed to go, if you want to draw lines or get creative, that's fine. You don't have to do that. But pay attention, okay? Next section. What region of the US is Georgia located in? So this is where you have to be observant, okay, guys? If you don't already know the answer, how can you figure this out? Look at the map directly above, okay? What region of the United States is Georgia in? North, east, south, west. Georgia being right here, this is never eat, east, soggy, south, southeast. And look, it's right here, okay? All right, so how many states are there that touch Georgia? If we just map the states that surround Georgia, look, you have Georgia and then Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina. So how many states? Dun, da, da, da. All right, so part 3. And I'm going to try to do this in just this one video clip and get it done, okay? I've got less than 2 minutes. I'm going to give you some feedback about this assignment, okay? This particular section is a lot about you being able to just make judgment calls. It's not about having evidence. Look at question number 1. What is a possible reason? So it doesn't have to be what is the reason. What's a possible reason for any similarities and differences you find? Identify whether or not you believe that these things are linked to the line of latitude that they share. So you use the resources below and the maps above to understand Georgia's location. I'm not going to keep going with that. All of these resources are of different places, but they all have one common link, the 35th parallel. Each of these places share that line with Georgia, so it's a line of latitude. This is the only one of the lines of latitude that Georgia shares with these places, but it is common ground to start. So just for your consideration, all of these places, Crete, Greece, Syria, Texas, and of course, Georgia, all share the 35th parallel. And by that, when I go back up, think Georgia's here, Georgia, Texas, Crete. And then what was the other location? Syria. They all share that parallel. So they all fall along this line. Now, let's see how much time I have in the video because I can't give too much feedback here, okay? Think about this. All of these places are here. I want you to think about the Earth for a moment. Imagine this line, okay? Pretend like there's a pole and this is an actual globe you might play with in my classroom and you're spinning it. The Earth spins around this axis, right? So think about it being a globe and circumference is the length of the globe, okay? So the total length surrounding the globe. What point is the globe at its widest circumference? That's actually at the equator. What does that mean? Places that fall at the equator, notice the tropical rainforest is here. We're in Africa where there's a lot of desert, and Australia and many, many countries that are tropical in the eastern part of the world. All of these places are very warm. And guess what? The equator has the most exposure to the sun, okay? So think about that. In relation to the equator is the warmest place on Earth. All of these places share that same distance from that exposure, if that makes sense to you, okay?